Let me introduce you to our next guest in the studio, a young man by the name of Dean Morris. Now, Dean, bear with me because I'm just going to introduce you to people here. I'm going to rattle off a few of your achievements, okay?
Okay.
Now, this is a bit of our guest, Dean Morris, and what he has done and what he currently does. So Dean runs a charity called Give Our Strays a Chance, which he founded 8 years ago. He is an author, saving the world one stray at a time. He's a public speaker. He has addressed state parliament. Tell me if I'm wrong with any of this. He's a trainee pilot. He's a former Air Force leading cadet. He won a scholarship to the NASA space camp in the US. He spent a month in Mongolia renovating a school. He's raised almost $1 million for charity. And, you ready for it? He's 18 years old. Am I correct in all
Looks
of that?
like you've done your research pretty well.
Dean, that is an extraordinary resume at the age of 18.
Thank you so much.
Are you aware that that's pretty extraordinary? Now, I met you when you were a high school student and first did a story on you a few years back. Now, that was about the NASA program, right?
Yeah.
So firstly, how was that?
Oh, that was absolutely a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I couldn't tell you how much it really changed my life. Just going over to the US and undergoing space camp, which was a week-long astronaut training for kids. It was absolutely amazing, and I really had a passion for space and aviation, so it was just amazing to go there and meet people from all around the world with the same passion as well.
That was a few years ago now. What are your thoughts now when you see all these billionaires and all these people with either going into space or having these plans to go into space?
Makes me pretty jealous.
It's progressed so quickly the past few years, hasn't it? Space travel.
Yeah. No, it's amazing just to see the future of technology really emerge and all these plans to go into space and really the next step.
Now, what did you do in terms of that with your studies? You're now at university.
Yeah.
What sort of field have you ventured off towards?
So I'm studying at the University of WA, and I'm studying a double major in engineering and management.
Right.
So yeah, I'm kind of seeing where that will take me, and I'm quite a technical person, and I like talking to people and interacting. So I thought engineering and management would be a pretty good fit.
They're quite different fields.
Yeah, they are. But I thought it would be a good combination in a workplace sort of sense. So, yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Now, Dean, let's talk about your charity work as well, because for you, that started so young, and we're used to hearing people doing charity work as they get a bit older and they have a bit more time. Is it true you started this animal charity at the age of 10?
Yeah, so I started about 8 years ago when I was 10 years old, and it all really started with my mum. She woke me up one morning and she found an ad on the internet for a dog that was about to be euthanized that day. So she dragged me out of bed. She said, you know what, we're going to go and save this dog. And we ended up in a country pound and we saved him that day. And just seeing the conditions that the animals were staying in, it really just broke my heart. And when we got Hooch, my first dog, he was just sleeping for weeks because he was malnourished. He wasn't eating or drinking. And I thought as a 10-year-old, I'd try and make a difference and give these guys a second chance and a loving home. So the first thing I did was just use my pocket money to donate to the shelter, just a few toys and treats. And then from there, I thought, what else can I do? So I started fundraising events and then started GOSAC, Give Our Strays a Chance. So to this day, I've helped in all sorts of areas that I never really thought that I would have gotten into, like a lot of homeless people actually have pets on the streets.
Yeah.
So I've assisted in giving out care packages so they don't have to worry about feeding their pets and they can actually feed themselves. I've helped during COVID. A lot of families have financial issues. So again, delivering them their care packages of pet supplies to make sure that they know that they can take care of their pets. And I also work a lot in wildlife, so a lot of rehabilitation centres, wildlife centres, and especially during the recent bushfires, I've helped a lot with medical supplies and working with businesses, the community and media to really just bring everyone together for the common cause of helping the animals.
Wow, it's so impressive. Where does a lot of this stuff come from? So in terms of getting supplies to help people, of whether it's even cash donations, are you good at just leaning on people and getting people to donate stuff, or what do you do?
So even when I was 10, I used to approach a lot of businesses and managers and CEOs of companies and ask for the support. And as a 10-year-old, a lot of people were quite skeptical about what I was doing there. And quite a few people said no to me to begin
Really?
with.
I was going to say, as a cute little kid, it's hard to say no. I thought that would have really worked in your favour.
But I never gave up on that passion. I just kept going back to these managers and CEOs and showing them what I was doing with GOSAC and how much I've raised and how many animals I've been able to save through the work that I've done. And it really just turned everything around, and so many people were just saying yes to helping out, which has been absolutely amazing.
How big a need is there? You alluded to homeless people and people doing it tough who do have pets. Are you noticing that growing need, like a lot of us are across society generally?
I've found that a surprisingly large amount of homeless people actually have pets on the streets, and for them it's quite a big pillar of mental stability in their life to actually take care of an animal themselves. So really going around and making sure that they have the supplies that they need to take care of them, of the animals, is really important.
What sort of area do you live in?
I live in the Thornley region, but I've actually just moved out onto on campus for Trinity Residential College.
Oh, okay, at UWA.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering what you see and observe in your day-to-day life about that need. Homelessness is something that does impact everyone.
Yeah.
Some people don't realise it as much as others, but if you get out there and have a bit of a look, you don't have to look too far, do you, to see what the problem is?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Dean, we'll take a quick break. Stay with us because there's so much to your story, as we can tell so far. We'll see what else you're up to in this jam-packed life of yours. And if you'd like to ring up and join the conversation, the talkback number is 133882. We'll take a quick break. It's 2.
This is Mark Gibson on 882 6PR.
It's 2 now on your Saturday afternoon, 21 degrees outside. Dean Morris is my guest in the studio, just 18 years old, running his own animal charity, writing books, studying at university, speaking publicly, doing all sorts of things. On that issue of the animal charity, through that then, tell me about the book that you've written. You've brought this in, Saving the World, which is a bit what you're doing. Oh, you've written inside the book. There you go. Saving the World, one stray at a time. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I recently published the book, Saving the World, One Stray at a Time. And really it's just a bit of a story about how I got involved into animal rescue, how I started up GOSAC, and also at the end, it's also a bit of a guide for how people can make a difference in their community as well. And I've been to so many schools across WA speaking to thousands of young people and students about how they can make a difference in their community as well, and just finding a passion that gets them up in the morning and really focusing on it and turning it into something that can make a difference.
So go on then, elaborate on what people can do in their community.
Well, it just starts with really recognizing what needs to be done. So if you have something that pops up on your day-to-day basis, or if you have something that you're passionate about, animals, homeless people, really just standing up and asking people for help is definitely a big step. And what people don't realize is that there are so many people that are willing to help around you, and all you have to do is just ask for it. And I've worked with so many different businesses through that, and just asking for help. I approached Bendigo Bank, and they've actually been able to sponsor the book. So I've been able to print out thousands of copies of the book to get it to libraries and schools across WA. And I'm also working with City Toyota as well. So they've allowed me to have a car to use at the moment, so I can deliver a lot of donations.
Wow.
So it's just amazing how many opportunities there are if you just ask for help and really get your cause out there.
Wow, that's so fantastic that some of these bigger businesses are prepared to jump on board, because you surprised me a little bit earlier when you said about some of the knockbacks. I guess that's one of your messages to people, though, is it? That, if you get knockbacks,
definitely.
Keep going.
Resilience is definitely a big factor, and not giving up, and just keep going at your dream and don't stop until you achieve it. Yeah.
What's the event you've got on next week? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so next Friday on the 12th of November, I'll be running a a day called Trinity's Perfect Day. So it's a bit of a distress day, but it's also open to the public and uni students at Trinity Residential College, 12th of November from 10 to 12. So there'll be heaps of rescues down, Cat Haven with some kittens, canine rescue with dogs, Kanyana Wildlife. They'll be bringing down an echidna, a bobtail, a woylie, and also a greyhound rescue as well with some greyhounds.
We've got a bit of a theme happening today because I just realised we've got the boss of Guide Dogs WA coming in a bit later to talk about needing more volunteers and helping out with them. So we've got a bit of an animal theme on the show today. What is it about animals? I guess it's just that thing, isn't it, that everyone...
They're just too cute.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone loves them.
Yeah. How could you not?
So when you see animals in distress, is that just something as a child that just sparked off in you that you weren't happy about that and you wanted to do something about it?
Yeah, it really just started a passion within me. And I hated seeing when I first adopted my dog Hooch, like I was saying before, it was just, he was malnourished when we got him. He wasn't eating or drinking. He was just sleeping. And as a 10-year-old, it had a really big impact on me. And I thought I'd give my best to try and give these guys a second chance.
What was it like to address our politicians? Tell us about speaking at Parliament.
It's been amazing. I've had so much support from politicians like MLA Lisa Baker, Lisa O'Malley, who will also be attending the event on Friday. But it's just been amazing to have all these different politicians get involved as well. And it's really just all about bringing everyone together for the common cause. Which is helping the animals.
Now, give us a plug for your high school that you went to, because that's where you were when you went off to do your NASA training, off to space camp and all the rest of it. But your particular high school, I'll let you say what it is, has an incredible aviation type program anyway, don't they?
Yeah, Melville Senior High School is the high school I graduated from.
Yeah.
And I was part of the aviation program, and it was an absolutely amazing experience. They have two full moving flight simulators there. Which is absolutely amazing to hop on. And it really led me to going to space camp and receiving the scholarship to fly over to the US. So it was definitely life-changing, that's for sure.
It's a unique program, isn't it? I think Melville's the only one that does that and has
Yeah.
those sorts of facilities.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, I mean, you can actually learn to fly a plane before you can drive a car, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So kids
Yeah.
get in there and get amongst it.
I remember I went on my first flying lesson in a really a small aircraft, a Cessna, and I had to have a giant pillow underneath me on the seat because I couldn't see over the board. So
Wow.
yeah.
And where's that at? Is that still a passion? Are you flying? Is that something you want to do more of?
Yeah, I've kind of stopped recently. I think COVID really brought down everything in terms of that, but it's really picking up now. And I'd love, because I'm studying engineering and management at the moment, I'd love to combine the two passions and do something like aeronautical engineering or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, in the meantime, you're just completing your first year of uni
Yeah.
at the grand old age of 18. So what does that mean? Exams now?
Yeah, I've got 2 exams Monday and 1 on Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you giving up some study time to come in here and talk to our listeners. Just tell us before you go about because, people will listen to these sorts of interviews and think, oh, I'd love to help out or
Yeah, no,
donate
absolutely.
something or find the book or the charity or whatever. Give us as much info as you can about that.
Yeah, so if you're really looking to help out or volunteer, I have a Facebook page, GoSack Give Our Strays a Chance, and you'll also be able to see all the events that I run, such as the De-Stress Day on the 12th of November. And also if you contact me through my website, www.gosac.info, and get in touch.
Sure. So it's GoSack, GOSAC, Give Our Strays a Chance. That's the charity that's been going for 8 years now.
Yep.
You still just run it all on your own, or have you got
With the lovely support of my parents as well.
mum's hiding in the corner here? But yeah.
No, my parents have been such a big factor in everything that I've done and really just pushing me to achieve the best that I can. So I'm really grateful to them for everything that they've done.
Well, mum's to blame, right, for all this, because she found that first stray dog and off it
absolutely.
went.
Yeah.
So, but she probably didn't realise that this is the response from you. I mean, you've taken this on board and run with it so amazingly over these past 8 years. That's probably bigger than she even imagined.
Oh, it's every year at the end of the year, I sit down and I look back at the whole year and what has happened, and I say to myself, you know what, it can't get busier than this. And each year it just gets busier and busier, which is absolutely amazing. It's just taken me places I wouldn't have believed.
Well, I'll ask you, but I mean, I'll let you get through exams, I suppose, first, but then, it is the end of the year effectively. So what does 2022 have in store?
I got to say that the crazy thing about GOSAC is that it's such a spontaneous thing. Like, events and opportunities just come out day to day. So I'm just rolling with it at the moment. But I'd love to take it even further and reach other states and even go internationally with GOSAC as well, and just reaching young people and getting that message out that anyone can change the world if they just put their mind to it, is really what I want to get out.
Good on you. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? Listen, this is pretty amazing. An 18-year-old guy standing here and saying all that. He's had quite a remarkable life so far, and I'm sure it's going to be filled with a lot of success over the coming years. Another few years of study, I take it, at uni.
Yep.
And then the world is your oyster. We'll see I'll look forward to following your progress, because I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Thanks for coming in.
No worries. Thank you.
Good luck with your exams next week, and good luck with the charity and everything you're doing.
Thank you so much.
That's Dean Morris joining us on the catch-up right here on 6PR.